Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about Spider-Man, but first, I need some help from you. We have a few episodes of PlayStation Underground ready to go, ready to publish, but we don't know which one we want to air first. So,
why not let them decide? Yeah, let them
great
decide.
Time to ask everyone else to decide for us. So go to twitter.com/PlayStation, and we're going to be publishing a poll, and you can choose which episode of Underground you want to see first. Now, this poll's only going to be open for a few minutes. We're going to show the winner after we talk about Spider-Man. So you need to get down there right now if you're watching this and vote for which episode of Underground. We're going to push those polls live. I'm going to do it telepathically.
No way.
And with a little help from our publishing pals. Thanks, Becca.
Okay.
So right now, we should be sending that tweet out. So go vote on which Underground episode you want to see, and we'll toss to that at the end of this segment.
Sweet.
So anyway,
sounds good. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So we just obviously, we talked to the folks from Insomniac yesterday about Spider-Man, which is looking aces, looking so good on PS4.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it. The three of us got to go into the behind closed doors presentation that they gave this morning, where we got to see somebody actually play through that gameplay session live.
Right.
And a few things happened a little bit differently, and we saw how the game actually looks in action.
Right.
What do you think, Malik?
I mean, I think a lot of people who saw the trailer at the E3 press conference were assuming that all that stuff was scripted and it was a little bit on rails. But we learned from our behind closed door look at it that that's not the case, that you can truly fail at all those things. As a matter of fact, there was a couple of little sequences that looked like set pieces, I guess because they just look so good, but he actually didn't do them right. He actually flew into the sign, had to go around and all that. But
there was the part with the big steel beam where he takes out the guy standing in front of it.
Yeah.
He actually did that differently.
Right.
In the session that we saw. He was standing somewhere else, and it's just like this. At certain points, the L1 icon will light up on an environmental object, and it'll tell you, in the corner, press L1 to do whatever. It's contextual.
Yeah.
So he just hit L1, and Spidey, webbed that thing and swung it around and hit the guy.
Let's give a quick shout out to their sound team, because the ding ding ding
that was dope.
knocking all three of the henchmen, the hench bros down. I also want to say, I feel like, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like during the swinging sections, before we get into the big helicopter chase, when he's kind of traversing between the towers, I think he took some different routes.
He did.
It felt like he kind of luxuriated a little bit, outside, kind of swinging around for a while, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think he wanted to show off a little bit just how free roaming it is, and just how fluid the web slinging is.
It really is an open world, and he was just kind of zipping around, doing the swinging and the web catapult thing and all that. Man.
I can't believe, I have to say this, I can't believe during that opening sequence, when that camera goes all the way up, it follows Peter, then you get right behind him, and gameplay starts, and you're just that's it. This is just how this game looks.
I thought this was a cutscene.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I really want to give a huge shout out to the team at Insomniac, because obviously very passionate, long-running and experienced developers.
Right.
But I feel like this has just been elevated them to a whole nother level. It's just incredible. Incredible looking.
I was really impressed by the music as well during this demo, especially during combat. It makes you feel super inspired and excited, and you're actually Spider-Man fighting these bad guys. It's got that awesome swelling action, Hollywood blockbuster style music going on. It's so cool.
You're right about that. You're right, and it kind of accentuates depending on what you do during combat as well.
Yeah.
So, and I like that they actually mixed that in. Speaking of combat, that's another thing I noticed too. It kind of rivals some of other action adventure games out there. The way they did the combat system.
Very free flowing.
Free flowing. You have your counter button, so when something happens, you see the spider sense go off, and then you press the button, and then he reacts to it. And he does something different every time. Sometimes I noticed he would shoot a web into somebody's face. Sometimes he'd weave and dodge a bullet and then shoot the web. Sometimes
he just acrobatics over around.
Yeah, but it was very
the animation is out of control. It's all, there's so much going on, but it feels so fluid. It's it really is like watching a comic book come to life. It's just incredible.
It's incredible. And another note on the combat, lots of aerial combo stuff going on here.
OTGs, off the ground, let's go. There it goes, he just did it. OTG right there.
I don't know if we're going so far as to say that Spider-Man Spider-Man is esports now. It looks great. It looks absolutely just bonkers.
He looked like the Spider-Man from Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, that's how he looked. And I was just like, yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, look at this combat we're seeing here. And obviously, this is the heavy that he finds. And I love how he remarks on the technology, the shield that this guy has. And he says, whoa, that's actually pretty cool, instead of like being off guard by it.
Yeah, and it's like you can get that sense of like Peter Parker and Spider-Man with like all the quips.
Right.
The performance. I don't know who plays this
I
version
wanna
of
find
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Phenomenal though. I mean, it's like a perfect voice. It's a great performance.
Yes.
It has that sort of nervous energy, but also that confidence because again, this is like an experienced Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's 23.
Yep.
He's ready to go now.
He's Spider-Man.
Right.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's zip-lining and web-slinging all over the place.
I mean, we've been talking about this all E3 about how excited we are for Spider-Man, how excited I specifically am for Spider-Man. I can't wait for it. It looks great. Anything else that you guys noticed from
just very small Easter eggs. Like he's talking to Yuri. She's like the Captain Yuri. She's like the police captain. He's
Watanabe?
And in the comic book, she eventually becomes Wraith. And so that kind of led me to think like, oh, is there a possible like maybe cooperative element that they might add? Who knows what that could lead to, or maybe from
Malik is speculating.
I'm speculating right now.
You'll have to go over to the Insomniac guys and like poke them and start asking questions.
Yeah. But that was pretty cool, and it's always good seeing the bad guys like Fisk and Mr. Negative.
Yeah, so I didn't actually know this character, and you were like, oh yeah, this is a character.
Yeah. Mr. Negative actually has an alter ego, which is Martin Lee. Martin Lee's a good guy, and he's a philanthropist, and everybody loves him. And that's kind of like the conflict with this whole gameplay that we saw. You can hear Peter Parker saying like, this is not you. I don't want to do this to you. And that's really cool that they're adding this in, because I think a lot of people are going to be conflicted as they're playing this.
Yeah, I didn't know who Mr. Negative was until this reveal happened, but now I want to learn more.
Malik guided me. He was like, let me lay down all the lore of this character right now.
I've been hanging around some comic book nerds for the last several years.
Yeah,
and it sounds like Insomniac. It sounds like they know what they're doing too, so I'm sure we'll see a ton of like crazy stuff when the game comes out.
But then last thing for me before we wrap up, okay? The helicopter scene at the end, all right?
Yes.
This is the kind of spectacle that you really have to stop and appreciate, that like every window, every beam, every piece of shattered glass, all the NPCs or, whatever the character is walking around, all this stuff is being built by Insomniac.
Yes.
It's not like they just threw a camera through the city and they're like, here's the city, it already existed. I mean,
let's go download like a model of New York and build the game.
I mean, it's really incredible, and I just want to give them, the credit where it's due, because it's unbelievable. I mean, these scenes that we're seeing here are just the amount of detail that's going on, the fluidity of the animation, and just the pure spectacle of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's out of control. So that is Spider-Man. We are obviously all very excited about it. It's coming to PS4 in 2018. So we did do that poll right before we started this. Sounds like the winner is Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go watch a new episode of PlayStation Underground.
PlayStation